Alright, we're back to memorizing the fretboard. If you clicked on this video, you probably watched the other one, but if you didn't for some reason, I'll have it in the description and I'll figure out how to put it up in the corner. We're going to use the same concept that we did in the other video, now utilizing the 5th string, trying to memorize the notes there, and we can use the same concept. We're going to have the bar chord, the major bar chord shape, and we're going to start off on this C just as an example. So we have this root note of C on the 5th string, 3rd fret. We can skip a string, skip a fret. Now we're on the 5th fret, 3rd string. It's going to be the same note. So you can use that concept all across the neck if you would like to. Now this kind of comes from the A major chord, right? Just the open A major chord. Now it's kind of confusing because we don't have to use our index finger to like go lower and like get that other shape, but if you can see, right, we have 3 things fretted down here. It's a C major chord, but we're just adding this to get like a bigger volume of it. Right, because these 2 notes with my index finger, they're going to be the same notes that we're plucking over here, right? Same kind of concept over here, right? But we're tuned with the open A that we don't need to, right? We don't have to. So we can move, we can use the same shape. It's basically the same feeling, right? We can move this, and we can still just use this as a chord. If you didn't want to bar with your index finger here, right? You could just use these 3 strings, 2nd string, 3rd string, 4th string, as a major chord. But it might be hard in your mind to know what you're playing without this index finger. So that's why if we skip a string, skip a fret, you have to work, I guess, backwards if you're trying to memorize it that way, right? If we're just trying to figure out, okay, what is this? Right? What is this major chord here? We can use the concept to work backward and say, okay, it's whatever note this is, right? 5th string, 7th fret, that's going to be the major of whatever we're playing down here. Now, we're going to try to memorize that, and we can work our way backwards like we talked about in the other video. We always know this is going to be a C. After C comes a D, E, so there you go. It's an E major chord if we just play, these 3 strings. If we wanted to do something like that. So, that's a concept we can definitely try to memorize, I guess, if you're trying to work it backwards in that way. If you just wanted to make your chords like that, or even when you're soloing, right, we're always going to know that these 3 notes right here are going to be an E major, right? So if we're soloing in the key of E or even in the key of B, we can use these notes. And we'll talk about soloing in another video because we're already at 3.5 minutes, but trying to convey what I'm seeing, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about music theory, and then we'll stop the video there, and I'll make another one where we can hopefully glue everything together. If we go back to our first example of the C major chord right here, we know that C and G work well together, right? We know that, we've seen it in songs, but maybe you don't know why that is working together. And we can utilize our memorization coming from the 6th string or coming from the 5th string of these major chords. So C and G work well together because C is the 4th in the key of G. And that's going to be the same concept all the way up and down the neck. So D and A work well together, right? So if we take our A major bar chord shape right here, this shape right here, even if you don't know it's a D chord, is going to be the 4th of your A major scale. So again, I'm just going to take this up here. If you know what's on the 6th string, B, If you use this shape and you're trying to figure out in your mind, what the heck am I playing? If you can know in your mind what the fourth is of the B, you'll know that this is an E major. And you can use that anywhere on the neck. Now we can go a little bit further with that, right? If we go back to our 1, if we're in the key of G, that's going to be our 1 chord, right? That's our 4. This is our 5. Okay, hopefully that makes some sense. I know there's so many popular songs that just do 1, 4, 5, especially in the choruses. All right, I'm trying to make this as short as possible. We're almost at 6 minutes, so I'm going to stop there. And then the next video, hopefully we can glue everything together. I have a few more tricks that we can hopefully memorize where the root notes are on strings. And yeah, we're going to do some solo stuff. I promise you that. And I have something really cool to connect to a Dylan song. And we'll do it on the acoustic guitar because I know a commenter really wanted to do it on the acoustic because he doesn't have an electric just yet. So we're going to work on that, I promise.